Well, we definitely have a great opportunity today to weave our tapestry, to pull our threads together and connect with one another. And this year's theme is discovering our heritage. So I hope that everyone will find something new to discover, a new neighbor, a new friend, a new hobby, something to enjoy that exists in our backyard that maybe you just didn't know about yet. Because this is a great day. It highlights the many heritage and cultural organizations here in our fair city, and it's something to be very, very proud of.
This month on Punch TV, we have traveled back in time. Hank and I are here in Boomtown at the WGM because we are very happy to be the MCs for the Heritage Festival of Saskatoon. And you're in luck. We are going to share it with you. We're going to interview some folks who are here today. You're going to learn about some cool clubs and dancers and singers who make their home right here in Saskatoon. And you'll learn a little bit about our city. So, stay tuned. Well, I'm here with Rayanne, who's the coordinator of this fantastic event, which has been going on for 37 years. How long have you been at the helm and organizing this thing?
Oh, longer than I can remember. No, I don't know. I think it's been over 10 years, maybe as many as 15.
I think so.
So, yeah.
Because I've been in and out of it for about 15, and you've always been here doing a great job getting everybody organized and set up. It's such a wonderful event. What a great way to get connected with the community.
Yeah.
What was it that drew you to be involved with this in the first place?
Oh, that's a great question. Actually, it was my friend Jason B. Wall. Yes.
Oh, Jason. We miss you, Jason.
Yeah, we love Jason. So yeah, he just basically, I was working on a different festival, and he said, you know, we happen to be looking for a coordinator for this festival, and you wouldn't be interested, would you? Like, seriously, meaning like he didn't think I would. And I'm like, huh, that sounds like fun. I love meeting people. I love getting together with people. And, you know, I really love pulling people together. And that's what this festival does. It really brings everybody together. So it's just, it's exciting.
It's a remarkable opportunity to like meet people of varying interests, but yet at the base, we're all kind of into the same stuff. Like it's kind of nerdy, but it's nerdy in our own special, passionate way. And every time I come, every year I think, oh, it'll probably be a lot of the same old, same old. There's always something new.
Yes, this year I'm so excited. We have two brand new exhibitors, the Wheatland Express and Safety Train. They're in Wakaw. I learned just a little bit about them, but if you get a chance to go over and talk to them, it's a tourist train that you can take and travel, and I think you can eat on it too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am so there. I want to do this summer.
Yep.
And then the other thing that I think is super cool is I hope I get their name right, the Friends of Saskatoon Afforestation Areas. Mm-hmm. So they're set up over by Meewasin, and basically they are there is an urban forest, and it is two areas. Again, you're gonna have to talk to them, but Richard St. Barb Baker and George Genereux Afforestation Areas, and these are heritage forest areas in the city. And so their goal, I believe, is to tell people about them. I'm hoping that's why they're here. And then I think also to protect them. That's the little bit of reading that I did, and I hope I got it right.
You got it right on. Actually, that was one of the first displays that I ever did at the Heritage Festival for the Heritage Society like a million years ago.
Okay.
So again, there's always new things to learn about our own backyard, what's going on, what's been here for centuries in some cases, and some things that are new. But I also love that it's a great way to connect with a lot of new Canadians come to this festival to find out like what other clubs are available and what are people doing. Like, what is this town all about?
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of the things that we just started noticing more and more as people, as the festival grew a little bit bigger. We started noticing that there were new Canadians who were coming because they wanted to learn more about Saskatoon. And so then we tried our best to reach out to those organizations as well so that, people could come and just take part. And the great thing about the festival is it has to do with heritage, but heritage has so many different aspects.
It does.
Like we have our cultural heritage. We have our civic heritage. We have our natural heritage, which is the afforestation areas, right? And then we also have our artistic heritage. And we have groups here representing all of that. Even an exhibitor with the artistic heritage, and we can even say that our entertainment also represents both artistic and cultural heritage.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
There's so many facets, and it's so great. And we're just so pleased to be invited to participate. So thank you for including Punch in the festival, and good luck and have a great day.
I am so stoked that you guys are here. Thank you so much for coming out, and thanks for these great wishes. I am positive it's going to be a fantastic day, and yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Rayanne.
Thank you.
First of all, congratulations on being the new mayor of Saskatoon. We're so happy to have you here as part of the festival today. What do you think something like this means to the citizens of Saskatoon?
I take pride in the fact that we celebrate our heritage and that we celebrate the diversity and the unique folks that come here from all over the world, as we also celebrate the original peoples of this land and how each individual culture that comes to our city, it sort of adds a bit to that rich tapestry that makes Saskatoon special. And I think that's maybe that weaving piece is maybe worth a thread to talk about, because it's not just about celebrating diversity.
Yes.
It's about celebrating how we are the same and how when we come together we have an ability to create something really special together.
It is a magical event, and I like your idea of the tapestry because there is a common thread to all these different groups that join us, whether they be dancers or crafters or someone who's into model trains or the archaeology or whatever their background is. We all share a love of the city, and we love being together and sharing our passions with one another. It's an exciting thing to be a part of, and I'm sure that we'll have lots more in the future. How do you see Saskatoon moving forward? I mean, we have lots of challenges, but do you think that there's an opportunity for us to grow and love and be together?
I think foundationally that is exactly what events like this help us. They remind us of who we are as a city. A city that looks after each other, a city that looks after things even when it's hard. We pull off amazing feats, and we never give up. And I think those are some of the foundational pieces that will help our city move forward. Yes, we have challenges, but I think if we see each other for the humanity in each one, regardless of background, regardless of whether you have a home or not,
Yes.
it's really important that we stand together.
True. And this is a good reminder of our heritage, but it's also a good reminder of the future that we are building together. So thank you so much for your service and for being part of Saskatoon's future, and we look forward to see what you build with us.
Thank you so much. I just want to say a huge shout out to the organizers. I know this is a lot of work to put together. Your city thanks you.
Well, you're welcome. Thanks for being part of today's festival.
My pleasure.
Punch TV is brought to you in part by Amazing Stories, providing Saskatoon with comics, games, toys, D&D, magic, and more for over 30 years. Online at AmazingStoriesComics.com. In person on 8th Street in Saskatoon.
Dance break!
I am here with Karen. You are going to be doing a presentation later today. Please tell us what it's all about.
Today we're going to be talking about exploring Saskatoon's hidden heritage, so that archaeological heritage that lies underneath the modern ground surface. We'll be talking about like well-known sites like the Marr residence, which still has archaeology, but some unknown sites too. Like, did you know underneath Stonebridge is a number of really cool archaeological sites?
Ooh, that is terribly exciting. We like mysteries. We like having new things, especially in old things, new and old together. So can you spill the beans on anything? Like, what kind of little discoveries can we make?
Well, we've got lots to talk about bison kill sites and processing areas and habitation sites and different types of arrowheads and projectile points. I mean, everybody has seen those before. So, but did you know that there's like 10 different kinds out there?
That's awesome. So it's always fun to find out, like, okay, heritage, you think, oh, that old building or that old quilt or whatever, but you forget that, like, this place has been here for thousands and thousands of years, and people have lived here for thousands and thousands of years. What is, like, the earliest, I guess, time frame that settlers were in Saskatchewan or in the Saskatoon areas?
In the Saskatoon area, we've got people living here going back 10,000 years.
Wow.
So long before modern settlement,
Yeah.
that people have been here because it's a beautiful area. So why wouldn't people want to be here?
This is true. It's a little cold today, but
yeah.
you know, that weeds out the weak. It's only the strong that survive, right?
Exactly.
Well, I'm looking forward to your presentation, and hopefully we'll catch a little bit of it and show people on the show this month. So thank you and good luck today.
Thank you so much.
Dance break!
I am here with Margaret, who is got such great information to share. There are some charming little museums that are like just a skip and a jump away from Saskatoon. Please tell us a little bit about them.
Well, I'm here with the Quill Plains Museum Network, which is a network of museums, of rural museums, Humboldt, Prudhomme, Cudworth, Allen, that are all within an hour and a half drive of Saskatoon. So they're perfect if you've got a Sunday afternoon and you want to do a trip out into the country and stop in at some interesting venues on the way. And you know, some of these museums are absolutely amazing. I'm from the Prudhomme Museum, and I mean, we have some really significant history there, especially around the Francescois, because a lot of the early settlers in that area were Francescois, but also Ukrainian, Polish, Hungarian. Nokomis is a super interesting museum.
It's a good one.
They have almost like a mini Western Development Museum there, and it's remarkable, especially since it's all run by volunteers. I mean, it's a different scope of thing. Allen is very interesting. There's just, you know, the diversity of museums is really interesting, and there's lots of people out there who'd love to have visitors from Saskatoon come and find out about their communities.
Totally. And what a great way to just like go out, see the countryside, maybe have a picnic, learn something, and meet some great people. It's been my experience with these smaller museums that you always come across somebody whose like heart is really in it, because they do it as a volunteer, they do it as a labor of love, and you partner up and get connected to our community.
There's a lot of old women running the museums out in rural Saskatchewan, but they're all passionate, and they're just enthusiastic about telling people about the history of their community and the special things about their community.
Yes, well, we need to recruit a new generation. So if you're in any of these communities and you're wanting to get connected to the folks who are loving and passionate about what happens in your very own backyard, get in touch, because these are great places to meet and just to feel pride in Saskatchewan.
Because these museums are volunteer run, most of them are seasonal. So they're not open during the winter, but all of our information, or you can also look on the Museums Association of Saskatchewan webpage. They'll have information on all of the museums in the province, including the ones in the Quill Plains network. And you can contact people. And sometimes people are willing to open up out of season if you're interested in coming out. But generally, most are sort of open during the summer, maybe spilling into the spring and fall a little bit.
Well, spring is right around the corner. I'm convinced of it. The groundhog said so, and hopefully these places will be open and we can make some new discoveries.
Okay.
Well, thanks so much, Margaret, for
Thank
all
you.
that you do for the museums and for sharing your story today.
Okay, thank you very much.
Enjoy
All
the
right.
festival.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Dance break.
I'm here with Anne from the Bridge City Needle Arts Guild with some beautiful artwork, and this has an absolute heritage angle. Embroidery's been going on for how long?
Thousands of years, actually. They've been embroidering since, well, actually forever, I think.
Since the invention of thread.
Even before the invention of thread, because First Nations people would embroider their things using shells and whatever seeds and whatever they could find in their environment. And then people in Europe would embroider with precious stones and metals and all that. So it's been going on for a very, very long time.
It is a gorgeous art craft. I have such admiration for people who do this because it takes a long time. It takes such dedication and perseverance, because sometimes you make a mistake and then you have to tear your stuff out and it's heartbreaking. Has that ever happened to you? I'm sure it has never happened to you.
Once or twice. Once or twice, yeah.
How many hours a week would you say that you actually do needlepoint and embroidery?
Not as many as I would like. I still work full time, so it's just kind of in the evenings and weekends. So, yeah, but as much time as I can, I like to spend on it. Yeah.
And is this your first time at the Heritage Fair?
No, we've been coming here for quite a few years. I can't remember exactly how long, but we've been here a number of years now.
Well, it's been on for 37 years. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised too that it's been that long. It's a great festival. It's a great way for people to find out what's going on in Saskatoon. If somebody wants to join your club or they're interested in what your group is doing, how do they find out about it?
We have a Facebook page, BCNG, on Facebook. That's probably the best way. We meet the first Tuesday of the month at the Mennonite Central Committee starting. We have a stitching time at 6:30, and then our business meeting starts at 7:30. And people are welcome just to come and meet us. We also have Saturday stitch-ins, the second Saturday of the month at Safeway at Lawson Mall,
Okay.
and the fourth Saturday of the month at the Spot at Market Mall.
Okay.
People are welcome to come, to show up and
Awesome.
bring their projects.
Okay, so if you are interested in embroidery or you would like to be interested, this is your opportunity. So check out the Facebook page, come by the Safeway on a Saturday in Lawson Heights, and meet some great people who enjoy the same things that you do. Thank you so much for talking to us today, Anne.
Thank you.
Have a great festival.
Thanks.
Punch TV is brought to you in part by Amazing Stories, providing Saskatoon with comics, games, toys, D&D, magic, and more for over 30 years. Online at AmazingStoriesComics.com. In person on 8th Street in Saskatoon.
Behind the scenes.
Shh, it's a secret.
So, my dad is actually so awesome. Like, the most amazing person ever. He even, made supper one night, and, I was just so amazed because, my dad does not cook. And he did a really good job, and it actually tasted good. I was scared that I might get food poisoning, but I was okay. It was all good.
Food poisoning? Really? Marri, come on. Kraft dinner, 1, how could I screw it up? 2, if I did, that orange, yellow, neon cheese would kill any germs. And then, it's a culinary masterpiece when I create it. Put a little ground pepper on there, some ketchup. It is amazing. How could you even insinuate that I could mess up the Kraft dinner? Because when I'm in the kitchen, everyone knows I'm all about safety first. And speaking of safety, you saw a picture, a selfie with Marri and I and Sheila and Aaron from Transcare Rescue. Well, you know what? Sheila and Aaron, fun fact, are the best. They follow me around everywhere to make sure that I'm safe, whether they're parked in front of my house, making sure that I use proper shoveling techniques, or when I'm chipping the ice away, don't want to hurt my back, whether they are keeping me safe at the Festival of Trees, or at the Heritage Festival. I don't know if you know this, but they kept all my fans away from in front of the podium so I could concentrate on announcing all of the dancers and performers and everything. So Sheila and Aaron are the best. Thank you. And speaking of thank yous, Marri, Jody, and I had a blast at the Heritage Festival of Saskatoon. So thank you to Rayanne for inviting us. Thank you to all the performers, the exhibitors, the dancers, everybody that was there, including Mayor Cynthia Block. We had a great time. For a list of everybody that was part of the Heritage Festival, go to heritagefestivalsaskatoon.com. Now, for all of us here at Punch TV and Radio, including Jody and Tony and Kathy and Craig and Riley and Brennan, aka Major Party, aka Mr. Rizzling, and Dave and Dean and Marri and I, thanks for watching. For all things Punch TV and Radio, and Punch Radio, CFCR 90.5 FM on Friday nights. But if you don't catch it live, hit the Apple Music podcast dealios. Hit the Spotify, everywhere. At PunchYXE, everything Punch related at PunchYXE, including YouTube and the Instagram and all over the place. Anywho, a special shout out to our sponsor, Amazing Stories. Thank you. An extra special shout out to Tony's mom. Hugs and kisses from me to you. And you know what? Jody says, keep your dukes up. These are dukes. And that's about it for me. My name is Hank. I'm going to leave you with a little special treat from Punch Past. And we'll see you next month on Punch TV. All right.
Punch from the past.
I feel so old.
In addition to being comic book and movie geeks and all that stuff, we're also really nerdy about music. And Craig has a pretty awesome guitar collection. So he brought in a few today to talk about why did you select these 3 particular models?
I think 2 of these are newer for me. These two here, and this one is my go-to that I always play with. Sadly, I did leave my American Stratocaster at home, and that was my first electric guitar that I got when I was a teenager. And I think it's probably feeling a little bit neglected, but I can only carry so much stuff. So
true enough. I think a lot of people start with the Strat because it's inexpensive and it's a pretty reliable model.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, it's like a very standard rock and roll guitar, and I mean, not just rock and roll. It's very versatile. Plays blues, rock, anything like.
So, okay, obviously they look pretty, you know, and they have different designs. Does that actually make a difference in the sound?
For sure. In fact, when we're recording stuff, I'll use different guitars for different things. So the Telecaster here, again, is a very standard, it's like the sister or cousin to the Stratocaster. This is something you'll see Bruce Springsteen or any of those guys playing. And it's again, a pretty versatile guitar, but it also just has this beautiful tone that works really well for anything from blues to country and western and stuff like that. You've got the Gibson Les Paul here, which is something that you'd see, guys like Slash or Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin will play something like that. And it has just a more of a rougher tone, I guess I would say. And then of course the Gretsch here, just a beautiful guitar. It's hollow with F holes on it. And it just has this full beautiful tone, and of course it also has the little whammy bar on there, which isn't like the whammy bar you'd see on a crazy rock and roll heavy metal Ibanez guitar. It's a very subtle thing, so you get kind of those sort of rockabilly, a lot of rockabilly
surf
players.
Guitar-y
Yeah, surf
kinda.
guitar, rockabilly, that kind of stuff. So for sure, the guitar is totally, each one has a distinct tone.
So for those of you just starting out, what words of advice could you give to a burgeoning guitar shredder who wants to get something that's just maybe a step up from that beginner kit?
Well, what I would say actually is I was sort of forced to do this, and you don't really want to if you're especially a teenager starting out and you want to play some loud guitar. But I was forced to start with an acoustic guitar, and the action on them is they're much harder to play than something like this. So once you get used to playing an acoustic guitar, and especially learning bar chords and stuff on them, it switching to an electric is your fingers are just so much more trained to be able to do that stuff. So I would say go get a nice acoustic, and you can go get a nice Yamaha acoustic for a couple $100 really. So something like these would be more in the $1,000 to $2,000 range. And even you can go way more expensive than that too, but you can get a decent acoustic for that. I would say too, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of snobbery around certain guitars, and you want to get American style instead of Korean or Japanese or something, because they use different woods and different methods of construction and stuff. But I mean, if you're just learning to play, it doesn't really matter as long as it isn't buzzing or something and it sounds fine. Then there's no barrier to entry. Go get they used to sell all those Sears guitars or whatever, you know what I mean, and they work just fine. My dad has one that it looks like a Stratocaster, and it's not. It'd be way cheaper, but it's for learning to play. It'd be perfectly fine.